Hey, it's Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb, and on this episode, we're going to do a Costco Keto meal plan for the entire week for only $25. You'll get your ketogenic diet meal prep for $25 for the entire week. Let me show you how, coming up next. Hi guys, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb. I've lost 67 pounds through keto and through intermittent fasting. And today I'm going to show you my whole meal prep for keto and intermittent fasting that is only going to cost $25 for the entire keto diet meal prep for the entire week. I'm so stinking excited to show you this of how it's only going to be $25. That's our alarm system. And I got everything mostly from Costco. This is a Costco Keto meal plan, and I'm gonna have a free printable in the link below. If you wanna go to Costco, get the things that I've gotten and how I've done this, I can definitely show you what I bought, how I bought it, and I'll have a shopping list in that free printable, and also the menus that I'm gonna be doing with them. So, full disclosure, it's royal weight loss meets real life here. Like, I have lost 67 pounds through real life, and so I go through and share with you guys what I got, how I'm gonna do it, and what the meal plan is for all of this awesome food that I got from Costco, and how it's gonna be $25 for the entire week, and making it easy too. So if you like this video, make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and right below Keto Diet if you wanna see more videos just like this one. So let's dive in, let me show you what I got, and let me walk through how I did this. So how I came up with the $25 per week does have some produce involved that is not from Costco. It could be, like wherever you get it. So some people are gonna take this so rigidly, so take the rigidness down a notch. This is real life, like we're just gonna roll with it. I have a 3-year-old, a hot husband, 7 businesses, and you just gotta roll with life sometimes. And I know that's for some of the viewers, that's gonna make them insane that I'm a roll with it kind of person, but that's how we're gonna roll with it. So this is how I came up with, I have my handy post-its of all of my calculations of what I got, how I'm gonna do it, and what I'm gonna do. So each meal that I make is gonna be a dinner, and then I'm gonna make extra to make it to lunch the next day. That's my life hack, is I like homemade food, I like fresh food, but I don't wanna have to make a lunch and a dinner. So we eat the same things for dinner that night, and then it's leftovers the next day. And so I have a 3-year-old boy, my husband, and myself. And so I took the cost of everything that I had and then divided it by 3. My little boy is 3 years old, and so I counted for that for eating as a 3-year-old, and that's how I came up with my calculations. But definitely, I freeze a bunch of this, we use a bunch of this, and it's super, super simple. So let me dive in, let me show you what I've got and what we're gonna use. What I'm first gonna do is do my Instapot chicken. Now, there's this guy right here. It's the organic whole chicken. It was 20 bucks for 2 chickens. I froze one, and then I'm using this one for this week. I put it in my Instapot, and I'll show you, here's how I did it. The instructions and the free printable below, but that made me the whole dinner, which we basically had this last night, and this is our leftovers. How crazy is that? I have the chicken salad here, and then I have cold regular chicken that I may make some enchiladas out of, or I don't know, we may just eat them regular. I have all over here all of this bone broth that came from it. So I used to buy organic bone broth, and it was freaking like $2, $3 per container. I now have my own, and Yana told me that I could freeze this. So I'm gonna try to freeze this in our freezer. They just said to leave a little, like 1 inch at the top to make sure it doesn't break in the freezer. So I have a bunch of these jars. I'm so excited to have that and just to sip on that throughout the day. It does not break intermittent fasting. It does lessen autophagy, but it's really, really helpful, like organic chicken bone broth. Like it's so, so good. Fresh from the source from me, literally out of my kitchen, so I'm super excited about that. So the chicken itself was $10. I had added spices. I incorporated some of these costs in there. You could, at the bottom of your Instapot, radishes to cook them like potatoes. I did do that, but we ended up not eating them. I don't know. They looked good. I just didn't want them. So totally up to you if you wanted to add that to the bottom of your Instapot. You could cook this in your oven. You could also cook it in your crock pot. I'm gonna put a link below for the Kusari Instapot that I personally use. I love it. This video is not sponsored by them, but I love the Instapot that they gave me. And so I heavily use it because it's so quick. It took no time at all to make a whole freaking chicken. And I had never cooked a whole chicken before. I was super proud of myself. So this was the remnants of that, but this is on the meal plan for the week. So you make the whole chicken on Monday night, and again, I'm gonna throw out the days just I'm gonna throw out days, but make it on whatever day you want. Roll with it. Real life. Royal weight loss meets real life. On Monday, I'm gonna make the whole chicken in the Instapot. That's dinner, and that'll be Tuesday's lunch. You can make it with like keto enchiladas or keto tacos, and I have other videos that I'll link below with that. But you also have your rotisserie chicken. You can just eat it and drizzle butter over it. Or you could put, like I made, was my chicken salad, which I used this. It's Primal Chipotle mayonnaise. It is amazing. I will link it below. You can get it at Whole Foods, you can get it at Amazon, you can get it at Trader Joe's. I love this because Primal mayonnaise, besides making your own, this is basically the only one that doesn't have creepy carbs in it, as most mayonnaise have soybean oil. You've seen in some of my other videos me using Duke's mayonnaise. Duke's mayonnaise doesn't have added sugar, but it is made out of soybean oil, which is an inflammatory property. You be the judge and jury. I'm not trying to be the keto police, just giving the information. I love, this is my new jam, is the Chipotle lime. It's spicy. I'm very spice sensitive. It is spicy to me. For other people who aren't babies about spice, you'll probably love it. But I put this for my chicken salad, and I put it in, let me show you a picture. And I simply just use a romaine head lettuce, which I got this from Costco too. And there's, how many of them are in here? 6 romaine heads in here, which is great because that basically is like 3 meals if I wanted it to be, or 3 days, like the lunch and then the dinner with it. It's a great, amazing, delicious way to get a sandwich by using it, the romaine lettuce leaf, as a wrap. So that's the chicken, that's Monday. Tuesday is going to be my egg sausage bake. I got all these eggs, y'all. So many eggs. So I'm gonna make 2 of them, maybe 3 depending on how many I have. And I'm going to freeze the other ones, and that's my hack. Again, make one, freeze one. I'm gonna freeze the other one. It totally can be frozen. People ask if it can be frozen. I just put it into a foil pan, or you can use a glass pan. Just make sure you don't take the glass pan that's in the freezer to the oven, let it thaw out, and then put it in there. So typically for my freezer foods, I will thaw them out the night before, and then that way the meat's less frozen, or a whole 24 hours before, depending. So this is my sausage. I did get this from Aldi, so full disclosure for people who are rule abiders, that yes, this is not from Costco, it is from Aldi. So I'm gonna mix this up, and I have a video, I'll put the link below, for my egg bake. Y'all, I lost almost 30 pounds since that video aired, so I look different, so you can go check out to see how I've evolved over YouTube. But my egg bake, this one is super easy because it's cheap, it's easy, and it's healthful, and it's filling. With it, you do want to mind your protein with it, and making sure you're staying in your macros and not going too high on your protein, right? Because too much protein can be a problem for keto. Keto is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. So that moderate protein, you don't want to have too many eggs because that could be too much protein along with the sausage. So the chicken was $10. This I calculated is $8. The next thing that I had, I also threw in here the cost for the bone broth too. That was huge savings, and that's not a meal, but I will be chugging on that throughout the week, just to have some extra nutrition and nutrients and to fill my belly. The next thing I have for day 3 is going to be on Wednesday, is going to be steak! Who doesn't love steak? Hello, I do. So Costco in our area has the best steaks. I freaking love these. They're so delicious. They're thick, they're juicy, they're wonderful. And so the price on this is $52, which is a lot. So let me explain. I'm like I Love Lucy. Let me explain. I'm going to not use this all this week. So for our family, we usually, there's 4 packets usually. We'll cook 1 and 1.5. This one is 3 packets. So we will cook basically like 1 full of these and maybe a 4th. I haven't quite decided with the math, but it will probably cook 1. And that is about $10 to $12. I put on my pricing sheet where'd my pricing sheet go? I put on my pricing sheet that the steak was $20, so I could feasibly do 1.5 of those and still be within budget, and that will be our dinner and our lunch for the next day. I just need to make sure that we are higher up on having more lettuce, like romaine lettuce, having some tomatoes, having some cucumbers, having some other keto-friendly vegetables that fit in well. And there's some other better choices with that too, right? Like that could be lower in net carbs than those, depending on what you want. If you want extra fats on the steak, I add Kerrygold butter on top. Marron, it's so good. And I also, for this, I will add Kerrygold butter into it to ensure I'm upping my fats as well for it. So the steak is probably the thing I'm most looking forward to. And again, that was the cost of $20, and that was for dinner and for lunch. I'll probably have us have steak with a salad on the side or some zucchini or something, and then the next day make it a steak salad for all of us. Some of y'all asked about my 3-year-old. He's really not a picky eater. He eats what we give him. He helps partake in meal prep with me, and I think that that makes it a little bit more enjoyable for him eating the food that we have. It's because he's helping make it even at 3 years old. So I get those questions frequently about him. So day number 4 is going to be Thursday. It's going to be chicken wings, and so I bought again this huge whole thing. It's 6 packages. However, the 6 packages were $20. So if you divide that out, the math basically is at like $3. So I will make 2 packages out of those, and I made it $7 for some reason. Maybe I was incorporating extra produce in there. And so I did give some extra produce leeway for the costing here too. So I'll make 2 chicken wings in my air fryer, which I'll put in the description link below. How I use my Magic Chef digital air fryer, which is awesome. It's super easy to do these. I just make 2, like I'll put one in, make it, and make a second one, and then make it. You can, for keto, mix it with butter and pink Himalayan salt. There's also, you can mix it with hot sauce, but I'm a baby about spice, so I don't really mix it with hot sauce. You could mix hot sauce with butter. You could do a lot of different things with it. Some people use the Bad Byron's butt rub. You can see like the lid was off because we just used it. Like, we love that stuff. You could sprinkle that on the wings with some butter and make your own seasoning if you want. I choose not to use sugar-free barbecue sauce with it just because that's extra carbs, and unless I'm like die hard craving like a barbecue wing, which I'm usually not. I'd rather just have, you can make these super crispy in an air fryer. Some people are like, I don't want to have the appliances, which I get. You could put these in the oven, but you're gonna need to use, it's either baking soda or baking powder, which is an extra carb additive. That's why I like the Magic Chef digital air fryer, because it makes it crispy. Like, it's super easy. Like, and y'all know me, I'm like the Sesame Street chef. So it's super easy to make those. So on day 4, which is Thursday, I have that for, we will not have that for lunch the next day. Instead, I'm going to use my extra egg bake, which I'll probably just freeze. And I may flip these dates around. Again, you just can kind of freeze the extras or switch the dates to make them fit in with what's best. So the next day, on day 5, which would be Friday, is gonna be a crock pot roast. I love my crock pot roast. Say that 5 times fast. I'll put that in the description link below, my recipe for that. It's really simple, and basically how I get it is this the whole pork shoulder is $30. I will cut this into, I gotta put it down, it's too heavy. I will put it, it's gonna knock everything over. Don't rock. It's $30 for 6 portions, which makes it $5 per portion, which it's a dinner and a lunch, which makes it like 75 cents per meal, which blows my mind, by the way. It's so good. You can use the pot roast for pot roast and then have sour cream with it, have fried radishes as like potatoes, so it's potatoes and pot roast. Or you could have it just on top of salad or sauteed vegetables, or having it on top of your romaine lettuce as like a sandwich type thing. You can do a lot of different things with the pot roast recipe. What I typically do is make the pot roast, have that for dinner, and then the next day I will make barbecue out of it. And so again, you can use sugar-free barbecue sauce, although I don't really encourage that, or you can just sprinkle the Bad Byron's butt rub on there and make it barbecue-y. It may not be, again, like the barbecue sauce type thing, but it is barbecue with the different seasoning on it. And then I like to put it in my wraps. This was our leftovers from literally the other day, which I need to eat this today. Our leftover, it's our pulled barbecue that's keto. I am obsessed. I love it, it's delicious, and it makes it super easy to grab, right? Like, no one has time to like spend so much time in the kitchen. This is all quick stuff that I literally can do the night before, or like prep it that morning before I leave for work. Or like the sausage egg bake, make one on a Sunday, which I'm gonna do later today, and then freeze the other one so it's all set. So that was day 5. Then on Saturday, we're gonna go to Chipotle, and then we'll also kind of pick leftovers. I'm sure there'll be leftover sausage and egg bake. We'll pick on that, but Chipotle for dinner will be Saturday night's dinner. I budgeted $10 per person on that. It could be less if you didn't get a drink or whatever. But that was the budgeting to go out for one night. And then on the final night, which would be Sunday night, which would be day 7, would be I have hamburger meat. It's not here. I did get, and again, for the rule abiders, you're gonna freak out that I'm not abiding the Costco rule here for the Costco meal plan for the week. But for the ketogenic meal prep, it's basically I've got, and I've done it in other videos, which I'll link below, on how I get my discounted meat. And one of those ways is I don't get discounted meat like my pork shoulder or my organic chicken or things like that, but hamburger, I will get discounted from my local grocery store, but I know the meat looks good, it doesn't look gross, it doesn't look, I don't worry about food poisoning, but they mark it 50 to 70% off. On certain days, I happened to get lucky one day recently, literally yesterday, I got like 8 packages for $5 a piece. That's my security system. It was $1.50 per pound. So that's gonna be our dinner and our lunch for the day for that too. The hamburgers, and we'll just literally have, I'll have just a straight up hamburger. I may put cheese on it, I may put some bacon on it. But that was like way cheap. It was $5 for literally 3 dinners and 3 lunches. Again, like that's crazy. Like that's amazing crazy of how much cost savings that is. So that's how I totaled up. Let me go through the cost for each thing. It was $10 for the chicken. It was $8 for the egg bake. It was $20 for the steak. It was $7 for the chicken wings. It was $5 for the pot roast. It was $5 for the hamburger. And it was $10 to eat at Chipotle. That totals $75 with some extra buffer in there as well. And then divide that by 3 people, which we have in our family. It's $25 per person for the entire week for lunches and dinners. And some people will ask about breakfast. I do intermittent fasting, so I typically eat from like a 12, I'll do an 18-6, an 18-hour fast, a 6-hour eating window. And so I'll eat at 12 o'clock, and I will end my eating at 6 o'clock. And so that's a 6-hour eating window and fast the rest of the time. Like I said, I may have the bone broth in between or coffee, and then factor the coffee or the Kerrygold butter costs into this. So it may be my costs are like $25.75, something like that. I know that the mathematicians are gonna come out. Pencils down, mathematicians, pencils down. And if you see someone in the comments writing something, tell them pencils down, people. My math is off. We live in real life, royal weight loss for real life. So that is our ketogenic diet meal prep. My Costco meal plan for the entire week for $25. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know what your favorite thing is. Let me know if you're gonna do this. And check out the printable below also. So quick editor's note, I do get extra fat in and to track my macros. I will have coffee or tea or decaf with added coconut oil or butter or some sort of fat source in it. I didn't include that in the video, but that's how I get my high fat also. So just adding extra butter also onto the meats is super helpful to stay within your macros. So tracking your macros is one good way to make sure that you get past a weight loss stall. It's just making sure your macros are right and tight. And if you like this video, make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe so we see each other again in the future, and make sure you put keto diet down below so I know that you like this video and I should do more videos just like this one. And if you want to sign up for my free weekly encouragement email that comes out on Wednesdays, Wednesdays weekly, sign up at countessoflowcarb.com. It's also in the description link below with the free printable for this video.